Hello and welcome. This is probably the only video like this that I'm going to be making, but maybe it won't be because we'll see how things go. Prior to doing all these videos and writing about all these books and stuff that I've been reading, part of the reason why I started doing this was to start retaining some of that knowledge for years long, because you read book after book after book, and at some point you just forget the plots, which happens all the time, or at least like the details in order to tell someone about it. And so there are a lot of books that I read that I loved prior to starting to do this that I just planned on never touching upon. But this one's going to be an outlier. And the reason why I've decided to make an exception, gorgeous cover by the way, just appreciation real quick. All right. But the reason why I chose to make this video about this book is because, one, the official version came out yesterday. I bought this copy yesterday. I read this originally as an ARC, and I just loved it so much that I was like, I put the date as a reminder of when it dropped to make sure that I bought it on that day. And I just decided to make this video because I don't really see that much being talked about this book. And of the 13 books that Goodreads says that I've read this year, this is definitely in my top 3. Unlike the last video, I won't be going through the entire plot and spoiling everything, because I don't think I'm going to give a entertaining or accurate enough assessment of what goes on in this book for you to squander the surprises that are in it. But I do want to give my idea of how this book should be marketed, because I don't think that a lot of the marketing has been good as far as the spirit of what this book is. Most of what I've seen call it this Persephone's Hades retelling, and I'm pretty sure that this is something that they just did to help with the marketing, because Greek retellings are really big right now with Circe and Song of Achilles and Piranesi and all these big Greek retellings happening right now, and that same space doesn't really exist for African mythology and stuff. So I'm pretty sure that they're trying to align it more with something that people would be more receptive to. But I honestly think that it kind of washes down what this book is actually about, because the heart of the Persephone and Hades myth is this really toxic relationship that starts with kidnapping, which is the only relation that these two books really have. As far as the journey that the main character of this book goes through, Ododo, I think that this is maybe the best retelling done of this dynamic, and it contains its own cultural affects and artifacts. Just like if you read a Greek tale, you'll hear a lot of the Greek cultural accents that were big in ancient Greece. So, concepts like hubris and whatever that other one is about hospitality. I mean, I don't really remember right now. This isn't supposed to be one of my in-depth book reviews or anything, but you know what I'm talking about. And I think that this book doesn't feel Greek at all. And it doesn't feel like Persephone, because she doesn't go into the underworld through the king, because she actually does kind of go through her own internal underworld. It's very interesting. I think I'm not going to give the details on it just so you can experience it for yourself. But the story centers around this young, I think she's 15-year-old girl in like 15th century Africa. And she lives in this small little town, and she comes from like a coterie of women smiths. And these smiths are kind of outcasts because smithing is seen as a profession for men. But these women are just so damn good at it that everyone's just like, hey, we're just going to keep it on the low and hate on them in the meantime, which is what they do. And Ododo is one of these women until one day she helps a homeless dude. Homeless dude turns out to be this prince. Prince is like, I love that girl. Kidnaps her without telling her anything. Just kidnaps her, has some people kidnap her, bring her to him, and he's like, surprise, you're not a slave, you're actually my bride. Which, I mean, she had no choice in it. So I mean, it's kind of, but at least she's treated as a queen somewhat, because this whole book is about her journey to discovering her own power, because queendom is a position, but in order to actually inhabit it, she had to become that queen, especially in the midst of the toxic political machination that she's dropped into the middle of, and her husband not really being aware of that. Like, it's a dog-eat-dog world out here, and she's this young 15-year-old girl that is honestly naive and stupid at the beginning, which I think a lot of stories with strong characters can miss the point of the characters becoming strong over time. She's not smart. Well, she's naturally intelligent, but she's not street savvy or person savvy, socially savvy, and that gets her in a lot of trouble. And it's just a gorgeous characterization of the growth of a person, the growth of a woman, and the growth of a queen. So if the goal of this wasn't really to give you a sense of exactly what the book does, it is, if I can get one other person to purchase this book, my job here is done, because I love it so much and I haven't seen enough about it. And go buy it, because it's lovely. And even if you don't want to read it, look how fucking gorgeous that is. That's just art for your house for free. Free plus like $30, because hardcovers are crazy. But that's all I have to say on this. I'm gone.